What's up, everybody? It's Carl's Collects Comics, and I am back with another Friday feature. And this week, I can't wait to share with you my top 10 Disney Plus comics picks that you should be buying right now. Disney Plus Day is upon us. Lots of exciting announcements, and we're going to dive right into it right after the intro. So stay tuned. Alright, what's up? Disney Plus Day has dropped a whole bunch of new exciting content on us. I'm very excited about some of them. Very clever announcements in a couple of the cases that, you know, it wasn't the big flashy trailer or teaser that we expected, but it was still fun nonetheless. And so we're going to get right into that. So here's the list. These are 10 books that I feel are great Disney Plus related comic books that you should be considering adding to your collection. Now, this is whether you are a collector, reader, or whether you are somebody who likes to dabble in the investment speculation side. These are all books that I think haven't seen a ceiling yet, and we will see some continued growth from them. So let's get started with the list. All right, number 10 on my list is Moon Knight #1. All right, this is the first issue of his first solo series and the first appearance of the villain Bushmaster. Now, it's an obvious choice, but it doesn't mean that it's not worth picking up. It's still lower priced, comparatively speaking, and it's still a classic definitive run for the character, plus the first appearance of one of his main villains. You know, I've seen these books going for right up to 100 in raw, mid to, you know, maybe 9.0 grade. You can go a little bit over that, you know, a little bit over 100 to get yourself a really nice copy. I also saw a run of number 1 through 10 going for about 120 on eBay, or it did go for about 120. Now, obviously graded 9.8s, you're going to see getting closer to the $1,000 mark. I did see a CGC Signature Series 9.8 copy of Moon Knight #1 that was signed by, I think it was signed by Bill Sienkiewicz, but I'm not 100% sure if it was him. But it was a Signature Series 9.8 slab that did close. The auction closed at a little over $1,200 for that copy. So obviously there's going to be those levels, and I'm not talking about those. I never advise going after those unless you know that you are going to be happy with that comic, even if it doesn't hold that value. Because sometimes these spikes, when there's a major announcement, just like we saw the big, you know, the reveal of some of the footage featuring Oscar Isaac for the series. I think it's yeah. I mean, I'm going to be picking up a copy of #1, so I'm tracking a few copies, but they're all raw. They are high grade, but they're not necessarily 9.8 contenders. So, you know, take that, do with it as you will. But I do believe that Moon Knight #1 is worth picking up right now, and that's why it's number 10 on the list. Next up is number 9 on my list, and that is Willow #1. The first official appearance for Willow was not in the single comic format. It was actually in Marvel graphic novel number 36, okay? But Willow #1 is an excellent book to own, especially if you're a fan of the franchise. And this has all kinds of nostalgia all over it, and it just tugs at the heartstrings, especially the Disney Plus Day announcement video of Warwick Davis coming back and introducing some of the new young supporting cast. We didn't see Val Kilmer, or Joanne Whaley Kilmer, but I'm hoping that, you know, that there'll be some other. I'm sure there'll be some others that are going to be added to the mix for the show. But you know, for comic purists, a lot of times, like for me, I don't necessarily go for the oversized magazine-sized books unless it's a character that I really, really want, like White Tiger. His first appearance was in a magazine-sized formatted book so I went ahead and bought that. But for the most part, I try to stick to just comic size, like traditional comic size. That's why I'm spotlighting Willow #1, even though technically it's not it's not any of the characters or the universe's first appearance. It's just the same material from the graphic novel reprinted in, I think it was the 3 or 4 issue set. So, but I'm spotlighting Willow #1. This is going to be such a fun series, and I think we're all going to enjoy it. We're going to get to relive our childhood and revisit that world, and it's just going to be so much fun. So that's number 9 on my list. Next up, number 8 on my list is Iron Man #225. This is the first part of the Armor Wars storyline. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that I believe this series is going to surprise a lot of people with how good it's going to be. I'd be stocking up on all the Iron Man, War Machine, and Armor Wars key books that you can right now, because they're not going to stay at this price range. Armor Wars has kind of flown under the radar, through all these different announcements. Everybody's paying attention to Moon Knight and She-Hulk and, even Secret Invasion. But I don't think a lot of people are watching what's going on with Armor Wars. And let's keep in mind that in the MCU, Don Cheadle has been criminally underused. But his time is coming. We're talking about an Academy Award nominated actor who has been incredibly underutilized given his status as a serious actor. I mean, if you're a little bit younger and you're not familiar with some of his earlier work, a very dark, very serious film that he starred in was called Hotel Rwanda. He did receive an Academy Award nomination for that, and it was based on a true story about the genocide that occurred in Rwanda, and that's good current history for you to know about. I would suggest really thinking long and hard about Armor Wars, because it's not just Don Cheadle, but then you also have, we're going to get to him in just a minute, Sam Rockwell returning as Justin Hammer. I mean, this is going to be, I think this series is going to be a just amazing series, both dramatically with these two Academy Award ranking actors facing off against each other, plus just the robots in armored suits just going at it. Yeah. And then the possibility of Riri Williams somehow factoring in. She's going to be a major character moving forward. So, I'm just saying it, I want to say it here first that I think this show is going to be a sleeper hit. I think we're all, starry-eyed about all these other properties that are coming, but Armor Wars is just there chugging along. And quick fun fact, and congratulations to him, Don Cheadle received an Emmy Award nomination for his very brief appearance in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. He was in for, I think, like less than 3 minutes screen time, but he was nominated for an Emmy Award. Pay attention to Armor Wars. I think it's going to take a lot of people by surprise. Next on my list is number 7, and that is Star Wars #2. It's the first appearance of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's a major Star Wars key. A lot of people have already started realizing it. That's why the price has gone up. And so my suggestion continues to be to just go ahead and pick up a copy. Get yourself a nice copy of it and have it, because that Obi-Wan series is going to be amazing. They're going to have Inquisitors. Darth Vader's coming. Hayden Christensen is reprising the role as Darth Vader. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. If you thought The Mandalorian was something, wait until Obi-Wan comes out. Number 6 on my list is Star Slayer #2. This is the first appearance of the Rocketeer. Now, while nothing was explicitly announced, we do know that there's a live-action Rocketeer project in active development. With the quality of the Disney Plus shows, it's going to be at least major network quality and well worth checking out. I'll even go out on a limb and say that I see the next Cobra Kai happening right here with this property. It's a nostalgia property that's being revived and rebooted for streaming. It's another sleeper, but here's the difference. The Rocketeer came to life from comics as opposed to Cobra Kai, which came from a feature film franchise. this original medium, his original medium was as a comic book character, so we're sure to see his first appearance gain value. Don't sleep on it. Now, we've already seen this book. I picked up my personal copy. I've always loved the Rocketeer since the film came out, and since I first saw the look and the suit and the helmet and just the Art Deco design in that poster. Loved it. Fell in love with the character and the concept, and have been ever since then. I think that was like in 1991. I picked up a copy. It's about an 8.5 to 9.2, somewhere in that range. I'd have to take it out and look at it to be sure, for about $25. And I felt like that was a premium. I bought it at my LCS maybe a year or so ago. Shortly thereafter, the announcement, I think the rumor and the announcement trickled out, and it shot up to where high-grade copies were going for anywhere from $50 to $100, depending on the vendor. I haven't looked to see what they're at right now, but I will say this, that this is still an undervalued key. It is a significant book. It's a significant character. And if they go back to the well and they do it right, this is going to be a big hit, another big sleeper hit of a show. And I know there's a lot of people that love The Rocketeer. A lot of people enjoyed the original film and have now come of age. So that's one of those books that could actually mature quite well, especially if you get yourself a nice high-grade raw copy. Number 5 on my list goes back to Armor Wars. This is Iron Man number 120. It's the first appearance of Justin Hammer. Now, he's not the same version as Iron Man 2, but let's face it, Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer was the best thing to come out of that Iron Man sequel. Let's just be honest. And no, I'm not forgetting about Scarlett Johansson's introduction as Black Widow. She was awesome too. And then Nick Fury popping up, and then Mickey Rourke as Whiplash was fun. But even all the great stuff going on in that sequel, it wasn't a great sequel, but all the cool stuff that what did come out of it, he was still the best thing. I mean, remember him coming out and doing his little dance when he came out on stage? Or his scene where he's facing off against Don Cheadle over armoring up the War Machine armor? I mean, he was in so little of that film, but he stole the show every single time he was in it. So now imagine him being the primary villain and facing off against Don Cheadle, and these two guys just going at it, chewing up the scenery. It's going to be a great show. I'm convinced of it. So it's a nice little Iron Man pickup to snag in the post-Tony Stark era. Alright, next on my list is number 4, and that is the Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 16. Yep, it's the first Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel. So this is the book to pick up right now with regard to this character. She stole the show in WandaVision, and we know she's going to be back. Remember, just think back to how strong a positive reaction she received from fandom when she appeared and received her powers. Everybody loved that character. She was just entertaining. And she's a solid actress, very entertaining, cool character that hadn't been utilized very much. It's just a ton of fun. So while this book has spiked in value, it's safe to say that she's coming back and she's going to be a strong supporting character moving forward. She might not get her own show or her own movie, but she is a popular character. And then if they partner her with what's his name, I think it's Jimmy Woo, the agent with the card tricks, man, it's another winner of a combo right there. They've got so many great actors in the MCU. So Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 16. Consider picking it up. Next on my list is, or number 3 on my list is Heir to the Empire number 1. It's the first appearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, he's already been mentioned. We know that he's coming. But unlike many other villains, he isn't really a one and done. This is a major character in the post-Vader Star Wars universe, and he's going to be an overarching threat and might even provide the necessary big bad villain status for a crossover event, because we already know that he exists in the Mandalorian universe. We know that Ahsoka Tano is getting her own show. We could see other spin-offs that could come as well. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are going to continue to pump out content for the Disney Plus channel. Thrawn is coming, and I really feel like even at the big prices that these books are at, you're not going to pay less than $250 for a decent copy of this book. I was fortunate enough when it first started to take off. I got all 6 books for $225, and I consider myself fortunate because there's also the first appearance of Mara Jade in that series, and that Timothy Zahn trilogy was the true sequel to the Star Wars Skywalker saga, and should have been. Disney did what they did, and Lucasfilm did what they did, and it is what it is. But Grand Admiral Thrawn is one of the greatest Star Wars villains of all time. There's Darth Vader, there's Darth Maul, and then there's Grand Admiral Thrawn. Those are the 3 right there. That's all you need to know. Get their 3 first appearances in comic books, and as far as Star Wars villains go, you're set. I mean, yeah, Boba Fett, I know, Boba Fett, he's awesome and everything, but those 3 guys, classic big 3 villains that, Maul got killed off way too early. Okay, so number 2 on my list is one of the most exciting announcements of the day, and that is, this is XMen Adventures number 1. So this book skyrocketed with the most pleasant surprise of Disney Plus Day, which was that it's a continuation series for X-Men 97. All the 13 and 14-year-olds inside of all of us just ran and got the sugariest, sweetest cereal we could, and just went and plopped down and got ready for that Saturday morning feel all over again. It's great, and then being able to go back and watch the X-Men animated series on Disney Plus, all 5 seasons, has been fantastic. I've enjoyed that part of it, because I tried to track down the DVDs, and they're very hard to come by. But now that it's out there on streaming, it's great. It's great to watch it. But there's a continuation coming, and they're going to pick up after the 5 seasons. I'm sure they'll do a little bit of retconning and some other stuff like that. But it's going to be so cool. In a 9.8, this is now a $250 to $300 book, and it's not coming back down. Nostalgia combined with Feige's first crack at the mutants is going to continue to drive this book forward to significant gains. So my advice is, if you can find a raw copy under $25, pick it up now. And I did recently, just like a couple days ago, go ahead and sell one of my copies for $25 just to throw it out there. And man, that thing went fast. Because people understand what's going on. All right. Number 1 on my list is Invincible Iron Man number 9, the first full appearance of Riri Williams. All right, she will be a major character moving forward, and once she appears in Black Panther 2, this book is going to hit the stratosphere. We just saw a raw copy go for $200, which is a steal. Her first appearance, I could see it hitting Ultimate Fallout 4 status and possibly going beyond. So, keep an eye out for that book right now. $200 to $300 is a great price for it. It's still, that key book has not reached full maturity, and we will see a lot more of Riri in the MCU moving forward. Because she's the obvious successor to carry on the mantle and to continue to work alongside some of the characters that have already been established. We might even see, the whole Tony Stark AI. There's a lot of rumors flying around about that, and that's another one. That whole dynamic in the comic books, we could see that easily explored on film, with Robert Downey Jr. Returning just to be that voice, or even pop up a couple times as a little AI face. So those are my top 10 Disney Plus Day comic picks. Take them for what you will. I think these are all fun books to pick up. I'm going to enjoy hunting down a few of them and I can't wait to hear from you in the comment section about what you thought about this list. Is there anything I missed out on? Anything that you think I got wrong? Anything that you want to call me out on? By all means, leave a comment and I will respond to it no matter what. Thank you for watching this video, for sticking it out. It's been fun to connect with you this way yet again for another Friday feature, which they may become weekend features coming up soon here. Remember to like the video. Leave a comment below. Like I said, I'll always respond. Make sure to hit that notification bell, and above all, consider subscribing to the channel, because we are continuing to, I'm continuing to build a stack of giveaways, and I promise it is coming soon. So this is Carl's Collects Comics. Thanks again for tuning in for another Friday feature. You have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you soon.